Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. If you're new, welcome back if you're returning. Today I have my daughter here, Anna, for a full set of pink and whites. So I'm just showing you what I'm going to be using to get this set going. And she hasn't had nails for quite a while because these are all my not polished bits, by the way. And this next one is a Kiara Sky medium barrel. Those are all the bits I'm going to be using. Anyway, she was working at a place that did not allow nails. Now she got a new job, so it's been a long time since she's had nails, and we were both excited, and she just wanted some short classic pink and whites, which, by the way, nobody ever asks me for those. So I've probably done one set in the past 2 years. Not probably, that is all I've done. So I also ran out of my 180 grit Tammy Taylor files, so I had to go in on her natural nail with this 100 grit. So, and this is sped up, so I wasn't being that rough with her. But excuse me, how are you guys doing? Hope everyone's doing well. I am going in with a ball bit here. This ball bit is from Not Polish, and I'm using this in the place of cuticle nippers. I do not like, I don't. I have cuticle nippers, but I use them for like other things. I use the nippers maybe more for a tool, I guess. But I do not ever nip skin. I prefer to use the ball bit, and you can see from the work that it's doing here, that if you use it correctly, you won't have to nip any skin. Now, sometimes this will expose, like if someone's cuticles are really, really overgrown, this will expose it will expose more dead skin, and if there's like a flap of skin hanging there that I can clearly see, I just need to clip, I'll do that. I have my E-file on a speed of 5 or 6 for that ball bit, and for this prep with the 150 grit sanding band, I'm just going to remove the shine only. This is in real time, and I'm going to stop as soon as I've covered the whole nail, and you can see I'm just barely tickling the nail with this just to remove the shine. My E-file is on a speed 2 or 3 because normally you would do prep on like a speed 4, but this E-file is really strong and powerful, so I just use it on a 2 or 3. Then I'm going to go in with that barrel bit and really get all of what the only area I haven't touched so far, which is really, really around the corner and in the creases, and that's what I'm using this bit for. But I'm only doing it very, very lightly because I've already done the two other bits for prep on this nail. So I'm only touching in the corners where I haven't been able to get yet. Although you can use this bit for removing the shine as well. I'm going to dust off the nails, and then I'm going to go in with some swipe to dehydrate and clean off all the dust that we just got, and then I'm going to size and apply her tips, and I'm using those Kiara Sky C-Curve extra long square in natural color, and these have been my favorite lately. I fluctuate between favorite products, you guys. I don't know about you, but I do. And right now, these have been my favorite lately. These make a gorgeous shorty shape, and I've just been loving them. So her nails are really flat, so I like to use a C-curve on her and myself and for shorties. So when you are applying a C-curve to someone whose nails are really flat, it's really, really evident here on the thumb. You'll see that it looks like you have to go a size smaller, or it just doesn't look right. It looks like it's not going to fit, and that's because you're just not matching the shapes. You know, the shape the shape of the nail that you're putting the tip on is not the same. But if your side walls meet, you're good to go. And of course, it's not too small or hurting anyone. And then I used my magnets. These were the length of 2 magnets. Clipped them all off, and I have learned using magnets is great. It makes a great speed of cutting your tips, but it is not always accurate. So I always will, after that step, compare the nails each to each other, the thumb to the thumb, etc., to make sure my length is correct. And the middle finger on this set happened to be quite a bit longer, so I have to trim it again. Then I'm going to use my sanding band on a speed of 3 or 4 again to blend these tips. Now, I'm not going in on her natural nail. I don't know if you guys noticed, but once I got the tips on, I did go right over the area where the natural nail meets the tip and add a layer of glue, which, by the way, I was using Young Nails Young Nails brush-on glue, which is my favorite. It just dries immediately. I love it. This is the thumb I had to trim up a little bit. And I'm using my sanding band to really, really make flush those nails. And when I was working on her natural nail to blend those tips, I had my nail bit, the sanding band, flat. I wasn't, just make sure you don't use it at an angle. And this video is going past faster than I can talk, so sorry for my stumbling words. But after that, I only used that sanding band to blend the tip on the top and get away any parts of the tip that were sticking out. And then I'm going to take my Tammy Taylor 180 and make flush the side walls and make straight the free edge of these tips. I like my tips. I spend most of my time on prep, and this is all in real time, by the way. Still, I spend most of my time on prep because I just feel like that is my foundation. The acrylic application does not take nearly as long as my prep does on every set. So I just feel like if you don't start, I'm a little bit anal with it, I think, too, and I know it takes me too long, but I feel like I get such a better shape, and it makes the rest of the set easy. It makes the acrylic easy to apply, and it makes the finish filing easy to do if you do all of your work beforehand. This is what the nails are looking like when we're ready for application. So I'm going to dehydrate with Swipe one more time, and then I'm going to use my favorite primer, the acrylic primer from Kiara Sky. If you guys have not used this before, and maybe you're just getting some, keep in mind that it does stay, it never dries. You don't cure it, and it never actually looks dry. So if you're putting this on and waiting for it to dry, that will never happen. It's always going to stay wet looking and jelly looking and very sticky. This is my holy grail. Since the day I started using this on myself, on my clients, I've never had lifting, just never, never. And I am a problematic lifter because my nails are super flat, more flat than my daughter's here. And even if I use a non-C-curve tip, my nails are just always lifting. Pardon me. Even though I know how to do prep and all of that, I've always been a problem lifter. And this just eliminated that. That's not a problem anymore. So if you guys are wondering what you might use, or if you're struggling with any lifting, just go grab this. It's not even expensive. You can get it on Amazon, and I highly recommend it. So once I apply one hand, once I get this on one hand, it's just a very thin layer, and then I will wipe off any remaining that might pool around this area here. Once this is done, once I'm done applying it on both hands, the first hand is dry enough for me to go in with my clear layer, which is what I'm doing now. I'm using my Young Nails brush, Kiara Sky Monomer, and I'm using Acrylic Cures Clear. For the acrylic today, I'm going to be using Acrylic Cures Optic White, which is, I had about 9 whites, which I don't use white very much, and if I do, I just grab my knot polish, right? So, but with the pink and whites and these white tips, meaning the natural tips, the color of the tips being a natural color. And I know that the pink that she chose is called the Mood, and it is a very opaque pink. I wanted to make sure that the tips were as white could be. So I know I have a chisel white that I literally wrote the word chalk on it. During my first year of using colored acrylics, I went and bought several chisels because that's what my local nail supply sells. And once I realized I didn't have any white, I went and picked up some white. I asked the lady who runs the place which one is white, which is the white from chisel, because there's just 3 walls full of chisel colors, and she gave it to me. I came home, I went to use it, and now I know, because I have experience, that you just need to work with it wet. It's just super, super, super pigmented. But I literally tried to take it back to her, and she's like, no. And she pointed to a sign and said, all sales are final. You can't bring back opened product. Okay, duh. So I, in my mind, was stuck with that. And so I wrote chalk on the container because I literally told her it wasn't acrylic. I don't know what's in this jar, but this is not acrylic. It must be dip or something, because back then I didn't know dip could be used as acrylic. I was just brand new at all of the new nail products that have come out over the years. So anyway, that's how, now that I have more experience, I know that one I wrote chalk on has got to be my whitest white. And it was extremely white, and it was just like labeled chalk. Then I also have Profiles Backstage White, which is extremely white. And I also had some Young Nails Triple X White. And I have my Not Polished White and this white. And I think one or two others, if I'm not mistaken. But I swatched them all. And this one came in third whitest. My two chisels that I have, one that I labeled chalk and then another white that I had picked up after I was still needing white when I tried to take that chalk back, right? So I picked up a white at that time. That was also more white, but both of them did not behave like this. As you can see, even though this is the whitest of white, it is still going on like butter. It is still behaving in a creamy, beautiful fashion. Obviously, I have this application sped up for you guys. I am going in wet and thin on this application, but that's the story behind that. When I get done with this white, though, I felt like there was too harsh of a line, as in I wasn't sure because I wanted, when I pulled down the pink, let me start over. When I go to do my ombre, and I know I'm going to be pulling pink down over this, I could see before I even started using the pink that my white line was too harsh. In other words, I wanted this to be white, but the line, it being so white, made the line really harsh, even though I started using smaller, wetter beads on the other hand to try to prevent that really white line. But I was just afraid that where I needed the blend to be super, I wouldn't say thin, but refined or fine. I need that part. I need my ombre to be perfect. I need it to be seamless and really blended, but not thick. I don't want to have to apply 2 or 3 beads to cover the white. So that was going on. So as soon as this dried, you're going to see me go in with the sanding band, right here, to just blend it a little and thin it out. Remember, I did apply a clear layer of acrylic on her nail before I started this. So if it looks like I'm going in with a sanding band on her natural nail, I'm not. I am using it on the white and on top of the clear, and I'm also only on a speed of 4, but I have the video sped up. So then I'm going to go in with my Mad Love. And I had been talking. I picked this bead up, and then we were talking and forgot I had it on my brush. So this was a little dry. I almost couldn't use this bead, but I made it work. So I'm going to ombre all of the nails. On this hand, I did go in with kind of larger beads to kind of do a 1 bead method, and it just, by the time I got to the second hand, I thought I'm just going to go in smaller and wetter and do the application 2 or 3 times. So you'll see me doing that when we get to that set. I'm sorry, that hand. I don't know what's wrong with my talking right now. I will jump back on when I have something else to say, which you guys know will be in about 30 seconds, I'm sure. Be right back. Okay, so once I'm done with the pink on this hand, I will look at the pink I just applied to see if I've missed any spots. You know, once it's dried, it's easier to tell. I'm going to cap these in clear, so that is going to blend it out a little bit further and add some shape for me if I haven't got my shape right yet. So that's what I'm going to do next. I'd mentioned to you guys that I'm going to be dropping hints and questions and things like that regarding my 1K giveaway. So I just wanted to mention, you guys, I'm sure know, anybody that watches, that my favorite brand is Not Polish. But my favorite brand for monomer and acrylic primer is Kiara Sky. So I might be asking that question. You can take note of that at some point. I also wanted to mention that I'm probably going to be crying about this for the next couple of months, so bear with me. But yesterday was 112, and like June 6th, guys, we still have July and August to go. Now, in Arizona, we don't really start feeling cool air on our skin. I mean, it cools down when the summer's over, but we don't actually feel like chilly air to where you might want to put on a hoodie or a jacket till about Halloween. Each year, I used to remember that because I would get some cute, Halloween outfit and be unhappy because I would have to cover it by wearing a jacket, because that would be like the first cool night of the year. Anyway, so we have till October before it gets cool again, and July and August are the most brutal of our summer months. So it being the beginning of June and already 112, 113 is a little scary. Luckily, I did get an AC unit put in my nail room, so if I'm doing any sets, like the evening that we did this set, and if you guys are watching, there is some kind of flying bug that lands in my monomer at some point, which kills it instantly, which I thought was funny, and a couple of gnats I had to swipe away. I do have a bug screen on my doors, but some get in sometimes still. So we were doing this set after dark. We started at about 9 o'clock at night because we both work, and then putting the kids to bed and all of that stuff. Another thing that might be on my giveaway question is I do have 2 grandkids, and they do live with me, and so does my daughter right now. So she can catch up and get money saved. The economy is kind of caca, and that's something we're doing as a family right now. Anyway, yeah, the heat's getting pretty brutal. I'm glad I have an AC unit in there, because even though it was still, it was still at least 100 degrees in the evening when we did this set, and all the acrylics were still operating perfectly. And I actually got cold and had to turn my AC down, so my wife just put in like a Frigidaire wall unit, but a real one, not like a swamp cooler. Anyway, thank God I have that going on. So I did let you guys know that I'm not really doing clients. If any of my OGs get a hold of me and need a set or need a fill or a removal or just anything like that, I let all of them know, still call me. But I'm not soliciting any new clients, which I say. However, I was at a yard sale yesterday morning in my neighborhood, and the lady was wearing some atrocious nails. And so I did mention to her that I do nails. She complimented my nails, but she just goes and gets a fill on a very short almond. So I did give her my name. She might be coming over. I don't know. Well, she said she was going to. We'll see. A lot of times people say that and they never call you or show up. But anyway, I'm not looking for new clients. So the content on my channel the Watch Me Works might be dropping off a little bit. Again, I say that, and then, I still have Kelly. I'll still be doing Anna's nails. I'll still be doing my nails, and possibly this lady. So it's still at least 3 or 4. So I really don't want to say that Watch Me Works are going to be dropping off, but I do owe you guys the rest of my not polished swatches. I still have the browns, the golds, the whites, black, silver, like all the rest of the bottom shelf to swatch for you guys. I've already swatched all of my Kiara Sky for you. It's probably about a year back on my channel, but that's up already. I am going to be swatching all of my chisel for you. I did do a small clear experiment on my last video, but I have definitely heard more than once that to get a good judge of whether your clear acrylic quality is there, that you need to work smaller and wetter. So at some point I will be making a video or maybe it will be together with another video, I'm not sure, where I grab all my clears, because in that video I think I only had 4 or 5, and that is not all my clears, and swatch my clears for you as well, along with my OMG glitter collection from Not Polish. And let's see, if you guys have any suggestions, let me know. But those are what is coming up. If I get anything new, of course, I will do unboxings. And there was something else I was going to say. I can't remember. Well, that's me. I forget in the middle of my sentence what I was saying. Anyway, yeah, that's what's coming up next or soon. Also, I do have a Vita Bella practice hand that I absolutely never use just because, like I've mentioned to you guys before, the opportunities I have to get in my nail room and make content is only been Watch Me Works, because when I have time to be in my nail room, it's because I've scheduled it and I have a client. Otherwise, I don't have any spare time or free time. But now that clients have the client pressure, because that's how it was feeling for a while, has loosened up, I will be able to give you guys maybe some practice hand content where I can just make whatever I want. Long nails, because on myself and my daughter, I'll only be doing short because of our jobs. So anyway, yeah, that is what's new around here. It's hot as you know what. I'm getting closer to 1K. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Can't wait to get there. I dropped a few hints in here for you guys. I am almost done with the application. I will jump back on when I'm done. Now I remember what I was going to say. If I were to offer you any hints about doing pink and whites, it would be to do as I have done on this second hand here and go in smaller, and I wouldn't really necessarily say wetter, just smaller, because wetter is going to be where you end up dragging the pink past the white. So same bead consistency that you should be normally using, but just smaller, and do 2 or 3 layers. It doesn't take more time. You might think it does, but it's easier to ombre, and it's just easier. This was so much easier to blend when I did it this way. So that's a little tip I can offer you. Be back. So I'm back, and one thing I forgot to mention was that when I was applying the white, I had that sped up, but all of the pink acrylic application was in real time, just to let you guys know. And hopefully Lucy will be posting the clear that she has left for sale because I will say it again. You can see how this operates. This is Acrylic Cures clear, by the way, that I'm using here, and I'm just gonna cry when it runs out. I do have plenty of clear left of other brands, including Kiara Sky, which is my second favorite. The reason it's my second favorite is because I don't prefer the way it performs. If you notice this, I mean, just watch this. You just have to do almost no work. And there are not any bubbles. There is no cloudiness. It's completely crystal clear. And the formula is like nail polish. That's all I can say. It's just absolute creamy, buttery perfection. Just like that Optic White, too, by the way. Her acrylics are amazing. She did mention that she might be, if she does decide to reopen her store at some point, you know, whenever that might be, she will have to start ordering bulk again, you know. Anyway. Oh, boy. I really hope I can get an Amazon storefront. I know this is just completely off the grid, but I've applied for an Amazon storefront multiple times, 3 or 4 times. Each time it instantly comes back and says, try again later, not approved. And it doesn't seem to matter how many subscribers I have. I don't know if I need to change the email. Do you guys know, do I need to create a separate Amazon account that is a business account? Because I have been doing that under my personal Amazon account where I buy products. But I figured that is the one I would want to use, because then I could just go through my purchase history and boom, 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 link everything I've ever gotten regarding nails for you guys off of my store. But I wonder if it's not jiving with my Get Nails by Jen email and or business email versus private email. I just wonder if it's not matching, even though it does ask you to link the social media that you're trying to apply for. And I do always link my YouTube, which clearly is about nails. So I don't know what I'm doing wrong. And I've definitely seen other creators that aren't at 1K subs. I saw a creator one time with, I think, less than 300 subs have an Amazon storefront. So I don't even think it's about the numbers necessarily. I really don't know. And I've watched YouTube videos on how to get an Amazon storefront, and it's like super complicated. And I know that's not true either. It should just be easy as, I don't know. If any of you guys know, it just seems like super easy for other people, and for whatever reason, I just can't get a hold of it. And I buy a lot of nail stuff and have in the past. If I went through my Amazon purchase history regarding nail stuff, it would be tremendous. I would have so much to share with you guys. It would be so much easier to just say, check out my Amazon storefront, you know? And I know, and I've said this before, whenever I'm watching a creator, if I learn while they're talking that they have an Amazon storefront, or if they say, I got this on Amazon, check out my storefront, as soon as the video is done, sometimes before the video is even done, I click on that storefront and I look at all of it. I want to see what they're recording with, what their lighting is, what kind of table towels they use, all of it. All of it. And I love it. I love that. So I really want to give that to you guys, and I don't know what is preventing it, but anyway. So I'm going on, using this bit that I got that is just, oh God, I love it. I did buy another one because they're back in stock. By the way, my code with not polish is Jen, just Jen. It doesn't have to be capital. It doesn't have to be anything but just Jen. And this bit on their website is called the Super Long Flute, I believe, but it's the only one that's called Flute or Long Flute. And it only comes in this color, which is fabulous for me because it's purple. But it is super sharp and super easy to get into your cuticle area. Also super easy to just go over the entire surface of your nail like you just saw me doing there. It shreds the acrylic off, but also is delicate and fine enough if you use it on the right speed or go over the nail lightly that it's not going to gouge your nail. It's just amazing. It's perfect for cleaning up under your free edge. It's perfect for your sidewalls. It's just fabulous. I absolutely love it. I don't see any need to use any other bit. And when these are dull, I'm just going to buy more. I just love it. So I'm using this on a speed of about 11. Well, not about 11. It was 11 that I had it on, which is probably about a 13 on other e-files. And by the way, this is one grit down the whole barrel of this bit. It's not a 5-in-1, so it doesn't have a finer texture to the grit toward the tip and a coarser texture toward the barrel. It is all one grit, which I don't know if it's, I would say it's probably about a medium grit. It's not coarse, it's not fine. I do have this sped up 1.5 times, and I think after this finger I stopped showing you the e-filing because it's the same on all fingers. And then I'm going to go in with my Tammy Taylor 100 grit file and do my sidewalls in free edge. I never buff, you guys. I don't find it necessary, especially after this bit and my Tammy Taylor. There's just, the nails would be too smooth to where my top coat would give me puddles if I buffed, and I'm not doing any nail art, so or matte top coat. That's when I buff, is when I'm doing nail art or matte top coat, when I really want it to be super, super smooth. But the Gloss-It top coat that I use actually works really great for filling in all the tiny little scratches that your nail might still have in it. It's thick and it just sinks right in. So I am done with the nails and with the shaping when I am done with this hand file. This is also sped up 1.5 times. I'll be right back. So I had kind of lost track of what I was saying when I was mentioning that Lucy with Acrylic Cure said she was going to have to, if she decides to open her store again, go back to her vendors to get bulk. What I meant when I said that, or what I was referring to, is that her acrylics are amazing. So I think if she does do that, if she ever decides to do that, I think she'll put up more than clear, probably. She'll have her Cool Cover Pink, her white. So anyway, I'm hoping for that. I'm hoping that one day she does go back to her vendors and get some bulk. And that's what I was going to say when I did not complete my sentence there. So anyway, I am just about finished with the filing here. Excuse me. And I use that is a knot polish ombre brush on their website. It's called an ombre brush. By the way, the red chrome dust brush I use to just dust off with, that is also from Acrylic Cure. I love it because it matches all my other red chrome stuff. But the dust brush that you see laying there, it's really stiff, and I use it when I'm finished filing to get dust out of the corners so I can see my shape when the dust is building up. And that is from Knot Polish on their website. It's called the ombre brush. And after this, we are done. I had her go wash her hands, and we're getting ready to see how the nails are looking right before top coat, right here. So after she washed her hands, I waited for them to be dry, and I did end up fixing, I was checking for free edge crispness and any other shaping that I had asked her about, and I'm also checking the length just to make sure that they're good. Then I'm going to go in with some Knot Polish Gloss-It. I do have a cleanup brush, and I also have some swipe that I was kind of out of frame, but I am using swipe and a cleanup brush to clean around her edges. When I'm done kind of glopping it on, I will have her turn her hand upside down just for about 5 seconds to make sure that the top coat all rolls to the top of her nail. Then I will use the cleanup brush on my fingers for the sides, put her in the lamp for 60 seconds. I'm going to use Kiara Sky Rose Cuticle Oil and take some final pictures, and we are done. Thank you guys so much for being here. Thank you for joining me. I appreciate, love, and respect and adore all of you, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.